Hello again, it's Patrick. It's after work. It's, I don't know if you can believe this, it's like 7:30 o'clock at night. I have just had one of those days where everything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong. You might be familiar with sort of a parody law called Murphy's Law, which is actually my last name, so that's, I always get a chuckle out of it when it seems to be happening to me. I started off the day late because I was planning on having a 4:30 visit today to do a joint visit with one of the social workers. So I was planning on coming in late to come to team meeting and then start my day. But because I set my alarms for unfamiliar times and the snoozes were for different times, I overslept and just made it to team meeting in the nick of time to present, which is not a good way to start the day. And then on my way to my first visit, I've been going to Subway lately instead of McDonald's. Instead of Wendy's, on the advice of my personal physician, who wants me to get my cholesterol down. Told me to go to Subway's instead. For breakfast, I've usually been getting the 6-inch flatbread with egg white, American cheese, toasted, and then on top of that, fresh spinach and onion, salt, and pepper. But I have them put vegetables on after it's been toasted. But what I've noticed about that was that the coolness of the vegetables cools down the toasted flatbread and the egg whites, so they taste cold, when I eat them. So I told them to go ahead and toast the vegetables along with the sandwich this time. And, then got in my car and drove away eating it. And those of you who have done this before probably know where this is going. I felt a splat of something warm on my leg, and I looked down, and I realized that the whole front of my scrubs of my lab coat was like saturated in like vegetable oil and grease and stuff. Probably not grease, but like vegetable oils and juices. So, I was on my way to my first visit. I was not in any condition to show up to this very nice house in this very nice suburb, or into anybody's house really, stained with food drippings. So fortunately my house was on the way, and I ran home and changed clothes, and then went off to my first visit, but now I was like a half hour behind. So I had to, send an email to the social worker I was going to see 2 visits from then and tell her I was going to be a little late, and then, call ahead to my next visit and tell them I was going to be late. And it just threw off my whole day. I was like, half hour behind, pretty much the whole day. So by the time it came time to go to my 4:30 visit, I was only 10 minutes late, and I was actually the first one there, so that worked out okay. But, that visit turned out to be a 2.5-hour affair, and, it was time well spent. It was like a family meeting, and we did a lot of end-of-life teaching, and, we got some plans started, and updated some orders, and we did all of that stuff. But it's like it's late now, and I was hoping to get some studying done for my exam on, that video I have to make, which I'm tentatively planning on doing Friday, because that's when somebody's available to do it. But I really don't have any time to work on that tonight, because now I have to do all of my routine documentation from the interdisciplinary team meeting, and fill in everybody's care plans and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. So I've only got Tuesday and Friday to get ready for this final assessment exam. Well, fortunately, I got all of the religious studies homework done except for the paper, which I'll have the weekend to work on. I've just been driving like a bat out of hell all day. The roads are bad. You can probably hear it's raining right now. The roads are... It's like everybody forgets how to drive when it's raining. I've just been stuck behind every red light, stuck behind every timid, incompetent driver, stuck behind every school bus. It's like every possible thing has gone wrong. And that's kind of hard to bear when I'm just driving. There's nothing I can do about it. I've got the GPS telling me in real time how many minutes away. I can shave a minute here, a minute off here or there by driving fast. I'm really surprised I didn't get a ticket today. I mean, I've been doing like, 50 and a 35, or, 80 and a 60, Like, I've been exceeding the speed limit by a good 20 miles per hour pretty routinely today. Even a couple of spots where I doubled the speed limit, and I was still, running late. So it's tough, I'm trying to think of what I could have done differently today besides not spill food all over myself. And, there is the possibility of doing a visit before the interdisciplinary team meeting. But the problem with that is, there's a limit to how early people are willing to be seen too, as well as late. And the whole idea was that I would start late because it was expected that I would be working late tonight. So even if I did a visit, before interdisciplinary team, I mean, that would have turned into like a 10-hour workday, which is not something I'm a stranger to, but it just would have been hard to work out, I guess. I set up a cat infusion today. That's always fun. I mean, that's something that I wanted to do yesterday, but it was pending, a family meeting and all that other stuff, and I finally got it. It only took me like, 2 minutes to set up. So when I set up an infusion like that, that means that the weekend people have to know to call for the reservoir volumes, and I have to call every morning and get the reservoir volume when I'm in the office, and coordinate the refills and stuff like that. And every 3 to 5 days, I have to change the subcutaneous needle. But it's an infusion that runs through subcutaneous tissue. And every 3 to 5 days is a really weird thing to work into your schedule, because if you do it on the same days every week, it's like almost always either too early or too late to do. If you do it on the same, I was thinking maybe like every Monday, Thursday, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that would be 3 days to 4 days. So if I worked it out to be a visit every Monday and every Thursday, I think that would work well. I think that might be what I do. That might work. Because I've got room for another routine visit on Thursday, and I have room for another routine visit on Monday. So I think that should be the plan. And that would work out well to start it next week, because I've got an extra visit tomorrow. Okay, I think I can do this. So you can see how the scheduling complexities increase as the patient's conditions change. I'm still trying to keep it all in my head pretty much. I use the charting software scheduler, for a week in advance. But a lot of the cycles take place in a greater span of time than a week. So sometimes that adds another layer of complexity to it. I'm just trying to review in my head if there's anything I have to call the pharmacy for now. I don't think there's anything I have to call the pharmacy for now. I think that can wait a little bit longer. Yeah, I think I have all my ducks in a row. It's a good thing, too, because the pharmacy is closed in 20 minutes. There's still an on-call pharmacist for emergencies, but for the routine stuff that I would be doing, I wouldn't have any reason to bother the on-call with it. But having the joint visits was interesting. It's nice having a master's degree licensed clinical social worker on hand to help, because the the interpersonal dynamics in some of these family situations are just really complicated, and I try to feel my way through them intuitively as best as I can. But I definitely appreciate having somebody with an advanced degree in these matters, as I call them, to give support and guidance. It's a really handy thing to have. So tomorrow should be interesting. I'm taking along with me for the ride my former classmate who has just joined us as a per diem. So that's really cool. I'll probably tidy up my car a little bit in the morning. And, or actually she'll probably end up following me because she has to be back at the office at 12:30. So just like it's fun to have a joint visit with a social worker, it's also fun to have a joint visit with another nurse. Because everybody's nursing style is different, and everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, and It would be nice if there was no nursing shortage and we could always send 2 nurses, but as it is, it's only when somebody needs to be oriented or supervised, so I guess that's the way of things. Well, I got a big old stack of paperwork waiting for me, so I'm going to get to it now that I've returned home, and I hope you're all having an excellent evening, and I will see you next time.